Load back in then, near Staroye, sorry, Millie. We're starving, that's the issue we've got. We could kill the zombies and hope they drop tack back. They could be tack back in the base. They could drop tuna, other canned foods. Otherwise we're gonna have to nip down and fish. I mean, quicker than fishing would be goats, but just give away our location there with the shot, don't we? What? Oh. Okay. We had a life going here already. Let's end it. I thought I was on green earlier. I must have been on blue. Alright. This was the more populated server, so let's see where we get. Oh. We've got an Electro / Kami spawn. That's pretty cool. As we messed around in Electro today, I'm gonna go to Kami. There's no dynamic train spawn. The redhead character. Yeah, we know you're cold. Give me some time. Try and get you kitted out at least. I'm sure there's a boat here. If you do get this, yeah, there is. If you do get this spawn just to the the east of Electro, you can see Scalicity Island over there in the foreground, in the background of that small island. But the first town you're going to encounter is Kamyshovo, I believe it's called. And used to be a bit of a shit show. Not so much now. I believe on the 1.20 update that's coming, they put in more of these spawns east of Electro, Kami. I think they're putting it back into the rotation, if you like, of spawns, so maybe it'll pick up again and be the freshy madness that we used to get for those that have been playing DayZ for a couple of years or more. Actually, if you can get enough stuff to fish, it's a lovely little island there to fish on, because you've got a couple of sheds to loot, a boathouse. They've also got that building there. It's quite nicely secluded to actually cook your fish in, should you be lucky to catch a couple. We probably should be running along the train track looking for some stones to make into a knife, but we're going to take our chances that we find the essentials that you need in that first hour of your life. Along the way and in town. I reckon someone's been through here, because there was nothing on those two boats. Not even a flare, signal pistol. Usually the trash that is left behind would be there, but the fact that there was nothing indicates indicates perhaps some activity. Some of the freshie getting that same spawn as us. You've got options then. Like I said, you can continue up the coast. It's quite a run if you want to go further than Scalesti Island and up to Solnici. Quite a nice route if you get enough equipment and food and things that you need in this town. Quite a nice route is to go inland from here. Follow the dirt path up, you get to a castle, and beyond that castle you've got a couple of options of where to go. You can get to Staroye pretty easily from here, Mogilevka, as long as you know where you're going. So if you're brand new to the game, you might have to get lost. Pardon the expression. Look at that, straight off the rip, halfway to being able to fish. Ooh, nice little person / zombie killer. PD over there, of course, where we're hoping to get the real good stuff. There's a little industrial area down there as well, which could provide you with some loot. That gas canister looks like it's been moved from its original location. We're going to put the hat on to help our character's installation. We're going to keep... Oh, there's a chicken there. So there would be our bone hooks and our ability to fish. I'm sure that was a medical thermometer. Oh, like this character over here. Hello, sir. There we go. Pristine bag. Thank you very much. Need a knife to cut up the chicken, but it's a really positive start. Look up a few of these houses. We're not in a rush. I would say this is like a nice leisurely DayZ spawn. Look at that, a knife. Hoodie, more slots. I'm not going to cut up the chicken yet though, because we don't want the bloody hands. We want to be able to eat stuff and drink sodas if we find them, if we're lucky enough to find them in these houses. Yeah, that's a lot of zombies but there, so we're not going to go that way. Matches to help cook our fish or chicken. Fish and chicken. If we go out the back way here, we can check this little toilet block, which sometimes has ammo, blades, sharpening stones, zombies hiding in bushes. Tomato, whichever one you prefer, and there's a sharpening stone like we said, so we can keep our knife on point. It certainly was a lot of zombies around the pub. They must have been the alkies that liked to sip before shit went down, if you know what I mean. PD front door open, nobody sat at the well. Plenty of Zeds just chilling. Keep our vitals going up. Let's eat our tomato. We could have cooked it and got more calories out of it, but we're just going to eat this. Nothing on the hunting picnic bench. Sometimes you can get chlorine tabs, hunting knives, hunting clothing. Nothing there, which again gives me an indication that somebody's been through or is here. Another knife. This is all good news. Nothing up top. Put our sharpening stone there. Sort some of our equipment out. There's Let's use our more damage knife first to go through that one. Keep our better knife for other things. Here we go. Fruit underneath the fruit tree. Indication that a player has been through. Quite a lot of Zeds outside the front of the PD though. I almost feel like whoever was here is gone now. I could be wrong. I'm not going to take that for granted. I'm going to take that better condition pitchfork though. Let's check these sheds, check these garages. Smoke grenade. Could troll someone with that. Police pants, better than the ones we've got. Ooh, box of 380. Let's take these fuckers out. Nothing on him. We can hit the well at our leisure, but I'm keen to check the PD first. Any signs of life? More ammunition, a gun, obviously. Back door's closed, front door's open. Suggests somebody, if anybody, left via the front door. I mean, new players might not shut the doors behind them, but you'd be advised to, because you get an audio cue then when they both shut, if somebody comes in behind you. Sounds obvious, but yeah, it's completely stripped. Some people forget the roof. I always like sprinting around the roof, but nothing doing. Some people like camping up there, and when I say some people, I've done that. I've camped in that green mustache and sniped someone when they've used the well, if they've looked a bit more geared than me. Looked like I could do with their shit. So when I'm drinking, I always have a little glance up there, because it's a beast of a window of opportunity. Cut up our chicken. If we're desperate, we can cook it then, quickly on the go. We're hungry already. We're going to make our improvised hooks, because they take up less space in our inventory than the bones themselves. Then we're going to go and wash our hands and have another little sip, and hopefully find some food on the way out of town. That's the plan. Otherwise we will probably have to cook up the chicken just to tide us over. Wash our hands. Keeping our head on a swivel. Have another little drink, now with our clean hands. Nothing crazy, because we're in the white for hydration now. I'm just going to check in here. Sometimes in the immediate vicinity of a well, there will be a water container, bottle, cooking pot. Don't look like we're going to get that lucky though. There are a few specific zombies that I want to kill. This guy's one of them, because he's a police Zed, and he has the capacity, the potential to drop ammo, police loot. Like that. SSG mag with 2 shots in it. Oh shit. Oh, do you know what? I'm actually going to keep that. Tire iron is a good melee, but pitchfork is devastating. You've seen what it can do to the Zeds that are running at you if you time it correctly. Devastating. Alright. Steak knife is ruined. I just want to craft some rags because there's no medical facility, no medical place in Kami, so you need to have a backup. If you have to go through your half a bandage, which only gives you 2 uses, then what are you going to bandage with if you catch another bleed? Now, we haven't found any alcohol to disinfect these rags, but they're still better than bleeding to death, even though they may give us a wound infection for not being disinfected. More fruit under the trees to show someone was in the vicinity. Get my pitchfork out because this Zed is going to aggro on us. It's a police Zed, so we don't mind. We want to kill him. Unfortunately, he's not one who's wearing a stab vest. That's the one. Oh, look at that though, a whole bandage. Extra bandage is obviously huge, with no millie in this area. Millie, no medical. Someone locked themselves in but then left via this door. And if that is the case, we're on someone's trail. The likelihood is we're not going to find much loot, but we're going to check these houses on the way out anyway. Why not? Because if we don't find... Oh, there we go. Disinfectant spray, huge. Pristine rags, once we cut them up. We'll do that upstairs, out of the way. There's a spotter if we wanted it. I'm not huge on sporters, particularly ones that haven't got a mag. It just puts a gun on your back and sets you up to be a nice little target. Now we've got 5 rags. I'm going to spare 2 of them and make myself some pristine hand wraps. So when we do go fishing, we cut up the fish, we don't have to worry about bloody hands. Plus it helps our insulation a little bit. But it's good to do that and not have to worry about it further down the line. Can we get lucky though and find something? Oh, another sharpening stone. There's your compass if you're new to the game and you want a compass. We've already got a bag. Let's check this toilet block by here. Cleaver, it's badly damaged, but so is our steak knife. Our steak knife is at least damaged, might be badly damaged. So, as many cutting bladed utensils we have, the better. Early life. We keep improving the pitchfork, which is good. We've now got a pristine one, which is going to last us forever. As a zombie killer. Beautiful. If you time your attack correctly, you can decimate any player, regardless of what gear they've got. With a... we're just not getting any luck about food, are we? But yeah, don't sleep on the pitchfork, folks. And there we go. We're saved. We're saved from starvation. Can of peaches. Actually gives us good hydration as well from the peach juice. 20 minutes in. And we can leave Kami. There's still one farm building to check up here. But we can leave Kami. Knowing, okay, we didn't get a stab vest. We didn't get a gun. If you've watched my previous videos, we've had better starts than this, let's be honest. But in terms of getting out of town, basic equipment in our bag, bit of ammo here and there, couple of blades, bit of chicken. If we need to stop and make a fire and cook it on a sharpened stick, because we're desperate, we can. And you can find shotguns or shotgun shells in here, but of course we just get wellies. And if you follow this dirt path up, eventually you'll hit a little hunting stand. Obviously it's worth going in there looking for a blade or better clothing. There's the hunting stand. And you literally follow this path up from Kami. And then you've got to be a semi-confident DayZ player to do what I'm going to do after we get to the end of this road. But once you've done it once or twice, it's pretty difficult to go wrong. I mean, coming up here with this gear, no stab vest, no gun. I mean, stealth is your friend. Look at that. A fronter. That's going to give us calorific intake as well as obvious hydration. Now the path ends, okay? Just keep coming up this clearing. Keep going in a straight line. Don't deviate at all. Okay, and you can see the gradient of the hill naturally taking you uphill. Obviously this is easier to do in the daytime. You go past this feeding stand, and then you think, well, where am I going now? Off to your left, up the hill. And then just sort of keep going straight like this. So you've got that deer feeding stand. Now you want to be going up the steepest part of the hill. Okay, straight line. When you've got loads of stamina, it's great. If you look around too much and you don't know what you're doing, you could get disorientated. So for new players, probably best to just stay focused and ahead. Keep glancing through the trees and you can see, oh look, the gradient is still going up. Right, I still want to be going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. If I start leveling out, I haven't gone far enough up. Okay, so I'm still going up, 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 up. Okay, beautiful views. But like I say, before you get disorientated, keep going up, 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 up. Now if you glance through the clearing, you can see light ahead. Okay. Keep aiming for this hill. We're still going up, so this is good. Now glance ahead. Oh, what's this? What's this? The castle. Okay, which is where, on official servers, vanilla servers, slightly modded servers, this is where you are more likely than not to find hunting equipment. Now, you could find that this place is completely based off. But see how pretty easy that was to find from Kami? You just basically run in a straight line up the hill. Now there are only a couple of things to loot here, other than killing zombies for loot. Make sure no one's looking at you, ready to snipe. This little doorway here will lead to this. Alright, there's a rangefinder. We can use that. I think that's a base, but I'm going to run and attack this zombie. Because if it is a base, and people have heard that, they're going to probably want to come and investigate. And look, structures everywhere. Okay. Oh, it was a base, but it looks like it's been raided. On here, another compass. Stuff does spawn up here as well. Look, there's some binos, but we've already got the rangefinder, so we don't need the binos as well. And then on top of here, stuff does spawn. Just been a bit unlucky there that we've got nothing, but I found CR rifles, Tundras up here, so you can get yourself a really early, devastated rifle. There's a protective case. If that's your cup of tea, you could keep anything in that case, and then if it gets shot at, gotta crawl under this gate. If you get shot at, the case will take the damage rather than the item itself. Look, someone had a base here. Well, that's a pristine one, so we'll take that. Looking out for landmines, bear traps. Okay, so someone had a base up here, and unfortunately, even though it's been raided, it still hasn't spawned us anything on the roof, which is a bit of a shame. Let's hotkey our rangefinder so we can look over the top now. Look into the distance. Okay, PD Church. Looks like Staroye. I want to say that's Staroye. Yeah, got the barn. The millie. Just a random caravan there. Obviously we came up from this direction, I want to say. Look at that. There's Kamy. Oh shit. Thought I actually saw movement there. There's Kamy, and then it goes out to the coast, and just a bit further up is Scalisti. Beautiful view. But yeah, what you want to do is figure out, okay, there's the entrance that we went in, that little stone thing, so we need to leave that way. There's a little town up there, actually. I can't remember off the top of my head the name of it. You can't see it. You just about see it through the trees there, where there is a well. There are potentially places to fish on the way, but again, we're getting a good example here of what we're not even half an hour into our life. When you think about it, we had to F11 the old character, so that's taken a couple of minutes that we didn't want to spend. My dear Jesus. Wow. We had to F11 and then start a new character, etc. So we've only been running about 25 minutes from Kamy. And we got ourselves up to the castle. And we're going to get ourselves, you know, relatively inland. Not a million miles away at all from Staroye, which is that way. But I still feel massively undergeared for Staroye. I mean, you could be a little cheeky monkey and take your chances. I mean, I could make some foot wraps to go with the hand wraps. But we're shivering because of the cold. Whoops, just follow this path down. You can't go wrong if you follow this path down from the castle, this dirt path. There's a little picnic area down the bottom that can spawn hunting loot as well. We're going to hit up that. But I'm looking ahead. just being wary of my surroundings. But yeah, to go to Staroye without as much as a pistol is a bit of a risk. You'd have to be super, super, super stealthy and just hope to get around, maybe get to the military loot and find a weapon before engaging with someone inadvertently. Because, you know, the pitchfork will do damage, but if there's two of them, while you're pitchforking to death, the other one's just going to shoot you in the back. You know, you want to at least have the ability, maybe with a double barrel shotgun with a couple of shots, you can pop one, reposition, try and pop the other one. But, yeah, doing it without any firearm is risky. Certainly not impossible. Someone's been farming here. Growing shit. But we're going to take a chance on this little town. Don't get me wrong, we could run into hostiles here. But we're going to take a chance. Maybe we could find another chicken and justify a fire. Because I don't want to start a fire unless I've got at least 4 chicken breasts to cook up. Because that would just about get us back to white. But we might get lucky and find a can of beans or a can of spaghetti. Something like that. Another can of peaches. But I'm really hoping to find a double barrel shotgun or even a single barrel shotgun with a shot or two. Gives us this fighting chance of getting out of a situation alive. Doesn't guarantee it, of course, but... There's a hunting stand over there, and it probably is worth checking the hunting stands. You'd have to be exceptionally lucky to find a rifle on one, in my humble opinion, in my experience, but it's not been unknown. I'm trying to stay on a path where you guys can see. I mean, it's been pretty much a straight line from the castle. There's the castle in the distance there, see? You know, so you can't really go wrong, but because I know where I'm going, I'm deviating slightly to stay in between some trees at all times. Just so that someone is sniping on the hill. People love camping in those trees for some reason. Pick up an easy kill, I suppose. And if we speak to some people now, if we see 2 or 3 guys, even one guy who's geared, we're probably going to try and be friendly because we ain't got shit. We've got the pitchfork, but the animation of the pitchfork is quite slow and quite easy to read. There's a pub up there that people do like cooking in, and there we go, we've hit red hunger again. So we have to address the food sitch. And because I've chosen not to fish, we're going to do the old-fashioned looting around to try and get lucky. Just seeing if there was a little streamer there. That could have been an option, but no. There's a baseball bat. There's a nice quilted jacket. Now, it's a horrific colour in the sense that if you want to get spotted in the trees, that's the colour you wear, red. But for the sake of insulation, I'm going to put it on. Okay, if we get capped, we get capped. It's not so much the long-term journey as the directional awareness, the way we've come in this loot run. There's not a lot of zombies around, which always gives me a little shiver down my spine. There's a head torch. That's nice for when it gets dark. Need a battery, of course, but pretty decent. And there's a nice radar cap. It's badly damaged, but it's better than the flat cap we've got, and if we can find duct tape or a sewing kit, we can patch it up. Remember, key priority is food still. That's why we're being thorough. You know me, I normally wouldn't be looting this thorough. There's a hammer. Really low-key, good melee weapon. And you can use the hammer to mine stones that you can make into knives as well. Little tip. Just the tip. Got into some good fights here before, when I've been armed. Let's put the bandito on. Zombies are spawning in on us. No. There's always a chance that he could drop a tin or two. Some fruit or whatever. Much better condition radar hat. Look at that, someone's dropped paper. Someone has opened up some ammunition in this building. So we're on someone's trail. This will be a test. Jesus, he's a tough one. Oh man. You've got to be unlucky when 3 of them don't drop anything. Stop the claret flowing. Carry on, as you were. No smoke, I can't see any cooking. Zombies just chilling through there. Ooh, that's a better colour bandana. We'll take the darker one. Bollocks. And I've got to welcome the aggro. Battery for our head torch. Because of the opportunities for them to potentially drop food, you've got to welcome the aggro. Normally you're like, oh, do I want to be fighting 3 or 4 zombies? But if you know what you're doing, it's sometimes your best chance of getting food. Sport a magazine, we're just going to take the 22 ammo for... Look, I'm going to get rid of that protective case because I find it annoying when it puts stuff in the case that you don't want in the case without even asking you, you know? If I want it in the case, I'll put it in the case. I bet you our friend who dropped the paper, if they're not still here, there's a good chance they went to Staroye. Some more 380. We've got plenty of 380 if we could find an IJ with a mag, ideally. But just casually looting around here because we're just having a jolly good time. Looking for some food. We know we've got our chicken. Pick up the repeater. I'm going to empty. Oh, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep the repeater. I don't like the repeater. But at the moment, we haven't got a gun, so I'd probably be a bit foolish to not keep it, because it's got 3 shots. Yes, we're going to have to pretty much nail them if we're to kill someone. What's our head torch? Worn, okay. What colour is our head torch? It's a white light as well, that's cool. As opposed to red. Oh, hello. Someone's been busy. Someone's been a very busy boy. There's more than one of them, I believe. Because that was the piece of paper dropped in the cabin over there, and then more loot in that shed. At the minute, it's none of our business, though. Because we're still looking for food, or we're going to have to cook that chicken. Even if we found a potato that we could roast alongside the chicken, that would be something. Not looking good, though, on... on the food front. Find in a can or... I haven't heard another chicken, so I'm going to assume there's none here. Check those fireplaces. Cans can spawn on the fireplace. The well is coming up, so at least we can hit the well. We can fix up our equipment with duct tape or make an improvised suppressor. It's like every time I come out of a door now I'm thinking I'm going to get popped. Glow stick had gone into them. Some 9mm in case we find a gun that's, you know, maybe we find an M-lock or something. Got bits and pieces of ammo now, and you know how geared those people were, whoever they were, dropping stuff in the shed. The massive clue, huge clue, is that they're leaving boxes of 380 behind, so they've settled on a gun that's not 380. It's some other type of weapon, some other caliber weapon. Flashlight, and they have settled on that, and they've decided we're not going to use any Scorpions or IJs, so we don't need to take the 380 with us, which tells me they're rocking something else CQC that's tasty, you know. There's the well. Oh, leather sewing kit. If we did find a press vest or a stabby or a plate even, we could pimp that up if it were damaged. Nothing in the car. Another great place for people to sort out loot is there. Top of them stairs, so well worth considering. Will this let you combine? Yeah, it will. Some servers won't let you combine items like that. This one doesn't let you combine bandages, but it let me combine the disinfectant, which is cool. So go into Staroye with 3 shots in a repeater. I don't want to say the word suicide and be too dramatic, but it pretty much is suicide. So is getting a long stick in the middle of the field when you know people have been around. Oh, here we go. The fire's still hot. The person who made the fire went to burn a slug in it, which means they're not taking their shotgun with them then, are they? That wasn't long ago, that fire. Good little tip as well, if you use these double stilted houses, a lot of people will shut both doors. I don't like shutting both doors, and I'll show you why in a sec. Well, I'll try and show you why, if we don't get popped. First we make the hand drill kit, if the game will allow us. Oh my god, what are you doing, game? There you go, hand drill kit. You can put the spare in there, bark on there, hand drill kit. It's So what I will do is I'll light the fire. I don't need the heat buff. I don't need to dry my clothes. I only need the fire to cook the chicken. I want this jacket. Because even though it shines, it's not as standouty as the, for want of a better word, standouty. It doesn't stand out as much as the red of the quilted jacket. It's a slightly darker sort of burgundy. But if I was rushing this building, I would run in here and I would aim my gun there at someone, and then I'm by here. I'm like, hello. I'm like, how you doing? They won't expect me to be sat right by there. Also, if they get an angle, I'm sat in front of the fire, they just shoot me in the head from the hill over there. And you can hear when the chicken is done. Like that. Cook and book is my other tip. Although we're losing health, and it'd be lovely to sit there and eat. Anybody coming down now, 5 minutes behind us from the castle, will see that smoke. Look how visible it is. And they'll push you. Now these 2 chicken steaks will stop our health going down. Look, our health is chunked. Lost a chunk of health. We're actually recovering our health now, which is nice. But our food sitch is still far from solved. But because I know where I'm going, I mean, you might want to follow this path past the pub, which is a more popular place for people to cook, although we used the fire that someone else had used recently. But remember, these guys haven't long left. That fire was still warm, very warm. Okay, so as I'm passing this pub, I'm wary. They could hear my footsteps, and whoever we are, oh shit, someone's stashed there. Look, that's well worth noting, remembering. That's another good reason why you should always hug the tree line and not just stick to the main roads. Apart from being seen or more easily when you stick to the main roads, you're never going to find stashes if you don't venture off the beaten track a little bit. So I'm going to wrap around this track that's to my left. I know it's to my left. I'm keeping it on my left at all times. I remember what I saw from the top of the castle. I remember what direction I saw the different towns and areas. But a lot of it is trial and error. You know, don't be afraid to wander off, as long as you've got some semblance of a path to follow. You'll always find something, and there we go. We found Staroye. I don't want to focus in too much on Staroye. We've hit yellow hunger, so our belly has stopped rumbling for a little bit. So I'm going to use this, I don't know, 5 minutes that we might have before we hit red food again, to go and have a look at the military. And when I say have a look at the military, see if we can see anybody obviously looting it. And if we can't, then it might be worth looting the military for a better weapon than what we've got now, and then going down into town. Or you could decide to dip and do some fishing first. And in our current predicament, that would probably be the best course of action. So there's the military. Whoops. And now this little bit of woodland here, this tree line, is super, super popular with snipers. And you can see why. It's got a great view across to the military. And any poor sod who's just there looting, who has to then stand still and fight a zombie perhaps, is going to be easy pickings for someone with a rifle. Not for us with a repeater. You know, you can hit people 100 meters away with this, but you've got to be some sort of John Wayne if you're going to be taking their head off. One for the older viewers. We're just going to assume for a minute there's no snipers. I like to creep up here. Clear the electrical box. There's a teddy bear. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that. Close the electrical box because someone might come up behind me. And if they don't see me immediately in the bush... I mean, we might get a bullet to the back of the head at any time now. But if they don't see us, nobody have seen us, do what we've just done, come that route, they may open that electrical shed to see if anybody's in it, like we just did. But we are quite open. If a sniper takes a position there, starts scoping, they might see us. Okay? So I'm trying to get into a very nice bush that will cover us on the whole. There's a little hunting cabin down there. If you know the map at all, Delina is down there. There's a little summer camp up here, that sort of area. There is a convoy spawn down the end of that dirt road where you can get all sorts of weapons. If you're lucky enough to run into a military convoy, you can get an ALAR, a FAMAS, an M4, any gun is liable to spawn there. And we have our rangefinder. Look, Mr. Zombie just walking around, nice and chill. Just creep out of the bush enough so that we can get our rangefinder onto the millie and the surrounding woodland, because people love coming across here. There's a little town down there which people like to build bases in, and they'll just cut across, come through the trees from this angle, maybe hit that hunting stand. I've found rifles on that before. It's a bit risky searching it, but depends how well you scope out the area. If you scope this out for 2 or 3 minutes, then approach, and someone just happens to come up the road, maybe from Delina this way, and, you know, creep upon you, despite you having done all your due diligence, you'd have to be pretty unlucky, wouldn't you? And it has happened to me. I've sprung a surprise on people, you know? Not a lot of Zeds, which tells me perhaps our friends that were in that town that dropped the loot in the shed were there. Here, sorry, after that little town that we just cooked the chicken in. But I'll tell you what we'll do. Just for the purposes of this, so that we can try not to aggro every single zombie in there if they start respawning as well. Put us in a bit of a predicament. Let's put foot wraps on. And let's just go for it. Go for the millie, so that if we die in this millie, it doesn't matter. For the purposes of the 1 hour loot run, it would have been a Kamyshovo spawn. We'll just call it Kami. Kami to Staroye and Staroye millie. I don't need to show you where Staroye is. Staroye is down there, down the road. We just saw it when we were coming through the trees. But just for shits and giggles, and to take this video up to the hour mark, we're going to go in the millie. And watch us find a load of dropped shit, for want of a better word. Because I bet they were right behind us. Tactical shirt, if that was your bag. I don't think you can pull off a stealth kill with a pitchfork. No, no you can't. Some sights. If anyone's in the woods behind us, we could get shot in the back any minute. Some more sights, some boots, some more sights. There's a Z. I'm just going to drop off the ladder to get down quicker. We don't have to engage those Zs. We're hungry. I mean, some tactical bacon would have been nice, wouldn't it? And look at this. A BK-18. which is a good gun. It's better than the repeater we've got, in my opinion, even though it's a single shot weapon. Oh, look, some 5.56, some more 45 ammo that we've got no use for at the minute. We haven't got a Colt or an FX, but the BK-18 would have been dropped because the person who was in here found an SKS or even an M16 or a baby AK, as we lag hard, which is never good, but it's part of DayZ, lagging. This motherfucker's chasing us right in here. Oh, wow. He's a tough boy. Remember, don't get carried away with killing the Z. Oh, and there's a Colt magazine. That would be nice if we could find a Colt pistol, because we got 45 rounds. Right, this clown's going to aggro on us now. We could... Oh shit, there's another one there as well. We need this guy to drop. He does. See what I did there? I moved away from the body. I'm moving all the time. Oh shit, look at that. Food. And I'm pulling my gun out instead of my pitchfork as soon as I can. Because when you're fighting those Zeds, you're pretty much at your most vulnerable. There's an FX magazine which will have more 45 in it. Did I just search all these tents now? Yeah, there's another BK-18, which again has been dropped for something else. They don't spawn here. Someone has picked up an SKS or something better than a BK-18. Yeah, we've been in this one. So we got our tuna, which will again stop our health going down once we eat it. I'll try and show you again what I do, right? Kill, pull gun out quickly, move. Right, so if someone's lining up a shot on you, alright, I'm not moving a lot there when I search that Z, but if someone's lining up a shot as soon as you kill the Z, you're almost anticipating them being there. In the woods or wherever they may be there now. That would confirm my theory, wouldn't it? But I aggroed a Z then, I heard him. And I heard he was in this direction. There he is. But yeah, don't stand over the body, the zombie, the player. If you kill a player, you should never go straight to a player anyway. Bloody compass. And I'll tell you what I'll do, because we've got a couple of minutes, literally 2 minutes before the hour. I'll show you then. Oops, fucking hell. Didn't see him there. He's got a nice little rucksack for us actually though. A little backpack. And military assault backpack. Look again, I'm moving away. I'm trying to vary up my angle. And if I wanted that backpack I would take it, but I don't. Not for the purposes of this video. But you leave the millie, which remember is back up there. You can just see the camo tent there. And there's a dirt path then, which if you want to go down to the potential convoy spawn, and if like me you're struggling from food and you wanted to go fishing. Ah shit. Let me drop that a minute because we haven't got any ammo for it anyway, and for the purposes of the video it's not, like I said, that I think the last time I came to this convoy spot there was nothing there. The time before that I came there were military vehicles there, and I found an LAR, which is not too shabby at all. It didn't have a magazine, but even an LAR chambered with a 308 is a devastating weapon. And of course if you do venture further north then you've got a good chance of actually picking up an LAR. But if you follow this path from the millie downhill, you'll get to where the convoy spawn happens, and if it's not there you're next to a stream, So obviously you don't want to stay by the convoy spawn, because other people are going to come from the millie, or they're going to come from Delina if they got a Solnichi spawn. That's another route, another video I'll perhaps show you if you get a Solnichi spawn, how to get up here from there. But at least you're going to be by the river and able to fish for your suppers, because we've just gone back into white health, we've gone back into yellow food. That tin of tuna has come in clutch, even though we didn't have much success in that millie because we were behind people. We picked up bits of ammo, Mosin ammo, 5.56. Some of it's tracer, some of it's not. Bits of 45, couple of magazines for random weapons. But yeah, in a couple of my previous videos, I've had terrible clothing on my back, but I've had like shotguns, and scorpions, and pistols, and it just hasn't been one of those first hours on this run. It's just unlucky that we've only come out of it with a repeater with three bullets, and we've got bullets for pretty much everything, but no other gun. Now that's where the convoy spawns. See where those two little white blocks are? And you'd see it. If it was there, you'd see it now, winding all the way down there, different military vehicles. And you'll see a little wooden bridge in a second. And there's the town of Delina, which has another PD and a hunting shop and another well where you can fill up on water. But as we just wrap around here a little bit, you should see a little wooden bridge, or a bridge. There it is, yeah. Okay, so the convoy would be there if you were going to get lucky and find an LAR or an AUG or some big boy gun. But not today. Not going to get lucky today. But what you've got here, look, there's your stream. Okay, so if you come away from the danger areas, which would be prudent, you've got a stream to fish and ample cover. Right, if I was going to carry on this life now beyond the hour, just over an hour, I'd probably come up here, get in this tree, do what I got to do with my rope hooks, with my bone hooks. There, I've got my rope. I just need a stick. I've got a couple of blades to cut up my fish, and then I've got a choice. Like, there's a little village this way, which is probably more low-key to cook my fish. I can make a fire here, cook it with sticks, or I can be bold and just go into Delina, the next town up the road, and cook it there. But that is Kamy to Staroye and Staroye Millie. Our loot run. I find it quite interesting. I like going that way. And from Staroye, if I just use my gun to point, let's say we're back up in the millie. If we followed instead this direction, up here, instead of coming down to check the convoy and fish, if we wanted to go back up over the hill there, we will eventually start making our way to Novi, Stary, VMC, Vybor, Northwest Airfield. So if you find it interesting and you'd like more of these type of example runs, what to do in your first hour if you get XYZ spawn, then drop a like, leave a comment. Leave a comment if you would like me to try and do a specific route. I'm always open to do that. And drop a sub if you haven't already, because it really helps the channel and helps other people who might be new to DayZ find these videos, which hopefully are useful. Thanks again for watching. Check you in the next one. Bye bye.